All right. Well, hello and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another Safeopedia webinar. My name is Samantha, and here today we are going to talk about the 2025 focus on eye, head, and face protection brought to you today by PIP Global Safety. They are a proud manufacturer of AD Safety Network, and we are glad to have them here with us today. Today, Brian Lieberman and Tina Perales is going to walk us through all of the above neck protection and how you can stay safe, comfortable, and compliant. So with that said, Tina and Brian, let's jump into it and get right into it.
All right, thank you very
Great.
much. I appreciate everybody's time today. The goals of today's session is to have a general understanding of the oil and gas industry, of which this is the targeted audience. We're going to build upon what you've learned in the past to reduce the safety risks on job sites. And then we're going to introduce some PPE ideas that will help prevent injuries on the work site, and then leave you with the resources to carry this education going forward. So when we take a look at the oil and gas industry, we basically look at three different sectors: the upstream, which is the offshore and onshore drilling; the midstream, the storage and the transport of the material; and then the downstream, where the refineries and eventually to the end customers. So we try to look at those three different things because they have different hazards along the way. So we want to make sure that we focus in on, all right, so offshore and onshore drilling have this type of hazard. We need to recommend this type of PPE. When it's being stored or when it's being transported, it has different hazards. And then for the end users and at refineries and the workers on those sites, they have different hazards. So we want to take a look at each sector and make sure that we're getting the right PPE in the right hands. So for OSHA standards, when OSHA does their review of workplace injuries, unfortunately, eye injuries still makes the top 10. It's still at number 9. It's been there for a couple of years now. Our job is to educate the end users and the distributors there to make sure that we get this out of the top 10. It's really simple. Get the right PPE in the right hands, and we can prevent these type of injuries and also the violations. I'm not going to dive too much into the OSHA, ANSI standards and CSA standards. I'll touch upon them just to make sure everybody's aware of the vocabulary that we're using. But just to let everybody know the general thing, the federal law says you must provide some PPE to provide safety to your workers. They really rely on OSHA. OSHA says the same thing, and you see some of the standards that they have there online, but really they depend on ANSI and CSA to provide the detail of what's needed on a job site. So, federal law feeds into OSHA. OSHA really relies on the standards. And this is some of the detail. I highly recommend that on your time, really dig into the ANSI standards to ensure that you're providing the right PPE to the proper workers to make sure to prevent any injuries. And the same for CSA in Canada. Make sure you go through these standards. They were recently updated in 2020 to ensure that, as the workplace changes over time, that the new standards are being met. So highly recommend go dig into the ANSI and CSA standards to learn more about what's required. And really, this is who we're working for. We have a portfolio of PPE, but we want to make sure that we're talking to the right people. So one, we're meeting with Bobby. He's the end line worker. He's the person on the work site doing most of the heavy lifting. He literally puts his life on the line every day. And what we care about and our goal, make sure that Bobby gets home at the end of the day. So what he cares about, one, we need the PPE to be comfortable and easy to use. If it's providing pressure on his, let's say it's a hard hat and it's providing pressure on his head, and he takes his hard hat off because it's not comfortable, suddenly he's exposed. Or if he's using eyewear and it has a pinch point in the nose, so he takes it off just to make himself comfortable for a minute, again, he's exposing himself. So the more comfortable the PPE, the more easy it is to use, the longer he's going to have it on to protect them all day long. And then all of us deal with budgets, so we need to work with Steve, the safety manager. He cares about his workers, obviously, but he also has the ownership of the material that he's bringing on site. So he's looking not only at proper PPE, but he's also looking at a cost-effective method. So when we talk about PPE, and really these are the two types of people that we're concerned about and trying to make sure that they're aware of what PPE is available and the cost involved. And really, what we do is solution selling. You know, I've had people come up to me and say, "Hey, I need a hard hat." Well, I'm sorry, that's simply not good enough. Or I need a pair of safety eyewear. That's not good enough. But let's dive into it. Let's ask the questions so we can be more in line in what's actually needed. So for eyewear, you know, we want to understand what type of industry you're working in. For this one, it's oil and gas. What types of hazards are you protecting against? Are you trying to do impact protection? Are you worried about flying debris? Are you worried about chemical splashes? So once we dive into what the actual hazards are, we can direct you more towards a proper pair of eyewear. Uh, does your company already have some eyewear spec'd in? Do we need to work around those? Do they have a specific lens tint or specific style that they want to focus towards? What type of eyewear do you use now? Is it effective? Do you like it? If everybody has eyewear but they're not using it because they don't like it, it doesn't fit well, it makes them uncomfortable, then maybe we need to look at new eyewear. So tell me about your workforce. Is it part-time or is it full-time? Is it a transient workforce doing a project only for a couple of weeks? Or is this your long-term workers? You know, that fits into the budget. Nobody's going to spend a lot of money on a workforce that has a 2-week project. They want to get the right PPE, but they want to do it at a budget-friendly price. And we have those type of solutions. Also, are there more females on your site? That goes to eyewear. You know, everybody's head shape is different and we want to make sure that the eyewear fits properly.
Hey, Brian, just to chime in a little bit. This is one
Sure.
of those things, folks, where we hear it all the time, right? One safety glass does not fit everyone. You have to have options because there are so many facial profiles, right? So it's really important that there are options.
That's a great point. It is definitely not a one size fits all type of situation for
No.
eyewear. Absolutely not. This is one of the biggest feedbacks that we get is fogging an issue. We get a lot of yeses, and there's a lot of eyewear out there that does not handle fogging very well. And we'll get more into that as we dive into the presentation, but this is a big issue, especially if you're working outdoors in the heat. I live in the Carolinas in the summer. You transition from indoor to outdoor, there's going to be some humidity out there, and fogging is going to be an issue. Uh, right to the point, does your team work indoors and outdoors or both? And what style does your team prefer? You know, there's a younger workforce that's coming in. They're more into the style, so we want to make sure that they have the proper eyewear as well. And are you more concerned about having a long-term eyewear, or just does it need to be disposable? So, you know, once we dive into all these questions, we can point you in a better direction for the type of eyewear that's needed for your workforce. And here we go. The guy on the right, he is not able to work with the eyewear that he has on right now. His eyewear is completely fogged and he's trying to take measurements. The chances of him getting accurate readings is 0. So with fogging as a potential issue for eyewear, he has decreased productivity. He has more exposure to an eye injury because he's not able to see what he's doing, higher insurance rate, and then loss of productivity if he does get hurt. So when does fogging typically occur? It happens when there's a transition from a warm environment to a cold environment or cold environment to a warm environment. When the person is exerting himself on a construction site or something where there's sweat being involved, and of course, environmental or weather conditions play a big factor in that. Like I said, I'm in the Carolinas, there's high humidity. Of course, that's going to play a factor. And then if you're handling materials with varying temperatures. So when the workers can't see, like this guy in the picture, there's no way that he can work safely or effectively. So with that, I'm going to let Tina talk more into the details. And Tina, go ahead.
Thank you. So, as Brian was talking about anti-fog during this time of the year, this is probably the biggest concern we hear from people is fogging, right? So, we have a product we call the Uvex Shield anti-fog coating. This coating is 90 times more effective than anything on the market. You get over 180 seconds of fog-free time. And I think you guys can see I'm actually holding a clothes steamer on a pair of goggles that has the Shield. So the thing about this is you'll notice there you won't get any fogging. You may get moisture, but you're not going to actually have fogging. This is designed to with a hydrophilic and hydrophobic type of coating, which basically means that it's going to take that moisture, absorb it, pull it down to the bottom of the lens, and then expel it off the lens. You might even see some dripping coming off of the bottom of this. So this also has a very strong anti-scratch. And this coating is actually dip coated or permanently bonded to the lens. So you never have to reapply this. It's, as I said, it's actually baked right into the lens. So even after several cleanings, there's no need to reapply. You don't have to buy an anti-fog wipe or anything like that, or a spray to reapply it. It will last a lifetime of the frame or of the lens, excuse me. So if you can see, I'm going to kind of set that down now. But you'll notice you don't have any fogging. You might see that dripping coming off the lens, but no fogging whatsoever. So there's no need, like we were looking at the picture that Brian had before, or even this one, when you're looking at the lens itself, you'll see that there was no need to take those off. And so there's no risk of additional accidents occurring, right? Next slide, Brian, please. So this is just kind of a list of the types or the different families that we have HydroShield coating on. Now it's a premium product, so it's not on everything that we offer, but it's on our top sellers. So our Genesis, our Genesis XC, our Protege, our AdaptTech, we have an Avatar Plus, which is the goggle I was holding up there. And then we'll talk a little bit more about the Avatar Plus as we go forward. Some of our sealed eyewear and then some of our goggles as well all have the HydroShield anti-fog coating. And one of the things when we talk about this anti-fog coating, I know that every single person that walks in and talks to you about anti-fog says their anti-fog is the best. But as you can see from the demo, it truly works. Again, no need to reapply. It will definitely last the lifetime of your lens. Next
And
slide, Brian.
just one point on that. We go to tech expos like everybody does. We've
Yeah.
had this. We have a fog tank that we stick a pair of eyewear with HydroShield on in the morning, and we go through the whole day of the expo. And 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the eyewear we take it out and it's still fog free. So it's tested to 180 seconds, but in real life, we've seen it last a lot longer.
Absolutely. People come up and ask about it, right? There, is that the same pair from this morning? But it
Yes,
really,
yes.
yeah,
It
it
always
really works, guys. So let's talk a little bit about the types of eyewear. So we offer our sealed eyewear. These are our good, better, best. And we talk about our tirade. This has an anti-fog coating. It comes with a sealed eyewear. It has look, the foam coating on the inside. You can get it with a temple and also with a strap. We call this our S4040 Plus. Super comfortable, gives you great peripheral vision. People really like this. And if you're in a dusty environment, any of these are great for that environment because you can put that strap on and pull them in nice and tight to you. Our seismic, as this says, solid performer for us, again, with the headband and the temple. It has different lens tints as well. And it does come in a reader. So for those folks that need readers like the ones on my face, this does offer that option for you as well. And then our live wire, it has an adjustable temple that it will ratchet, super comfortable, premium coatings. Again, this actually has the anti-fog or the HydroShield coating on it. And it comes in different assortments of lenses and also CSA certified. You might find this even in like a welder's helper in a shade 3 or shade 5. And then let's talk a little bit about goggles. I showed you the Avatar Plus goggle, which is very similar to our stealth goggle. When we talk about a good, we talk about our classic. This is the type of goggle that you guys have seen in every laboratory you've ever walked into, right? It has great peripheral vision, economical, with a good, comfortable fit. And then we talk about our Flexsil. We love this goggle. It's so comfortable. It's also economical, and it is available in a 3.0 and a 5.0 shade. And I get asked that a lot, right? Do you have something in a goggle with a welder's helper shade? So you have that in the Flexsil. And then we have our Stealth or our Avatar Plus, the one that I showed you, top seller, different range of lenses. You can get an amber lens, you can get a gray lens, and it comes with replaceable lenses as well. It is CSA certified, and it is available in an OTG option and also a reader. And there's a little insert actually that you can put inside the goggle that will allow you to take that down to your optometrist, have it filled, and then you can insert it in the goggle so it can be worn all the time rather than having to have the OTG version. A lot more comfortable for some people. But a top seller, people just love it. Peripheral vision on it is amazing. And then here's our general eyewear. We were talking about our Avatar Plus. This is what it looks like. It's in the gray lens here, but it's just high performance, guys. HydroShield lenses again, so no issue with fogging. You have a flexible nose piece. I don't know if you can actually see, but you can take that nose piece and you can push in or out to adjust to your nasal profile. And then you have these little temples that offer this micro texture here. And what that does a couple things, right? It helps to keep it on your head. So if you're perspiring and whatnot, it's not sliding off when you're trying to perform your job. And then you have the vented eyebrow pad. And up here at the top, that eyebrow pad just gives you a little bit more protection so that if you were actually impacted, it would help protect you and there would be less force on your brow. And one of our top sellers is our Hypershock. It's an excellent seller, comes in 3 frame colors. It comes in black and a brown or espresso, and then it also comes in clear. Great sunglass tints like mirrored lenses. It comes in a photochromatic lens, and it comes in an amber type lens as well. So, and this one actually does have the HydroShield coating. It will not be on the mirrored lenses as that does not adhere so well, but everything else will have HydroShield. So now that it's those hot summer months, and this tends to be pretty popular in the construction sites, this might be a great glass to show them. Next slide, please. Okay, we're talking about the Uvex, the new products or Product Alert and Avatar Plus. I mentioned it to you, kind of showed it to you as well. It comes in a safety spectacle. And the spectacles are, they're just ideal for workers who need a fog-free type of lens. It comes in a wide range of lenses, as we talked about, and it will eventually come in a diopter or a reader. So again, this is what it looks like. We kind of talked about the nose pieces and the adjustability of it. We also have the goggle that we talked about in the Stealth and the Avatar Plus option. But this is my actual favorite, guys. This is an over the glass, and you can see there, it's nice and deep. I really like this because you can see my glasses are pretty big, and this actually fits right over the top. And one of the key things we hear about OTGs is that they slide down or they don't fit over your glasses. And if you'll notice, I can tip my head, I can move it all around, and it's not moving it in any way. So it stays put, it's comfortable to wear, you have adjustable temples, and you can see there's your adjustable temples. It's a very deep lens, so you get great peripheral vision. It's just an excellent OTG with great comfort. Somebody can wear this all day long. Sometimes you see it just being worn as a visitor's type spec, but this someone could wear all day long and be very comfortable. Next slide. Then we have some accessories to our eyewear as well. We have some lanyards that can be worn, some cases, and definitely, our cleaners, the stations and tissues. We do have anti-fog cloths and gel, but anything that's HydroShield, you will not need to apply. But some of our products or some of our competitors' products still may need that. And then again, the safety glasses and also lanyards. So we have everything to offer when we talk about eyewear. We have the spectacles, we have sealed eyewear, we have OTG, we have goggles. So everything that you might need, we do have, and all of it does come with the Hydroshield anti-fog coating. So let's talk a little bit about face protection. You'll see we have this highlighted here because what happens a lot is face shields are, people ask us all the time, can I wear a face shield by itself? Do I have to wear a pair of safety glasses? The answer is yes. Face shields are considered secondary protective devices, and they have to be worn with either eyewear or goggles. So most important, that's what you need to know about a face shield. You must still always have eyewear underneath. And then this calls out the ANSI and CSA standards, which Brian kind of spoke to a little bit earlier. So let's talk a little bit about our face protection. Our Uvex Bionic, top seller for us, guys. Superior comfort. You'll notice that long chin protector comes way down and is very comfortable, sits a little bit away from the face so it's not digging into your chest. It comes with the anti-fog coating option. This says we have 2,784 possible adjustments. Wow, I don't know. I've never found that many, but I've been able to adjust it in just about any way I need it. You have multiple visor tints, so you can use a dark tint, you can get a green, you can get the gray, and then also the clear. It's super easy to replace the visor, and as many of you know, if you're wearing face shields, sometimes that can be difficult. You can, it's 100% dielectric, so no need to worry about that. It's lightweight and balanced for ergonomic design. Now, when we say balanced, when you put that on your head and you adjust that ratchet, it sits just right on your head, very comfortable. You don't feel the pressure on your neck that you might feel from other products, and even some welding helmets. It does come with a hard hat system and also a ratchet system. Next slide, please. This is just a little bit more about some face protection. We have the fiber metal options as well. We have a wide selection of face shields and windows for all different needs. You have a model and a price point for just about every application. And, there's some significant differences in designs and performance over the competition. You have some unique window attachments, and we'll talk a little bit more about the Speedy Loop. Just different ways to be able to attach this to either your welding helmet or your hard hat. Next slide, please. So let's talk a little bit more about face protection. You'll see the F300, F400, and the F500. And those crown, that's the size of the crown. We have a 3-inch, 4-inch, and a 7-inch. I don't know why the F500 was named F500 when it's a 7-inch, but it is actually a 7-inch crown. And then
I don't know.
What was that?
I don't know why either.
I know it's a little weird, but
right.
Yeah, but these are just tried and true crowns. They've been around for a long time, guys. Super comfortable. The crown material is made with Norel, so it just lasts very well, stands up. I would call this the workhorse for our type of business. Just a broad range of application. You have that different types of adjustments on the face shields. If you take a look at the top there, you'll see there's little pieces that adjust and sit very deep and just give you a great fit, and they stay attached really well. And then you have your different window sizes as well, right? So there's, different, if you take a look like the F300 with the 4118 CL, you'll see that it's cut up close to the face. And then looking at the 4178 CL, you'll see it comes much further back towards the ears. And then if you look at the 4179, you'll see it's kind of cut in at the chin. So depending on what you're doing, you have a variety of face shields that will fit your needs. And then we have
Tina, I'm sorry, just one point. That
Sure.
should actually be a 41.99.
Thank you. You're right.
That's probably my fault.
No worries. Thank you so much. And then when we talk about face protection, we were kind of talking about the different shades that are available to you. So you have your clear, which is for your basic cutting and grinding activities, as well as for chemical splash. You'll have your green tinted, which is good for sun glare and bright lights. It's used much like a sunglass, right? But it cannot be used for oxy-fuel or arc welding. And then you have the True View Gray, shade 3. So this is for outdoor use to prevent the glare or distortion of colors. The blues will look blue and the greens will look green. So great for recognizing any type of electrical wires or whatnot. And then you have the IR UV shades, which would be 3, 5, or 8. And shade 3 is just for general welders, right? And then shade 5 is used for that oxy-fuel cutting that we were talking about earlier. And then shade 8 is used for plasma cutting. So it's important to follow that rule. And if you need further information on that, we can help you with it as well. And then we have the gold-plated polycarbonate, and that would be used in our high heat environments like steel mills and foundries. So
So
as
I
you
think this is a, go ahead.
go ahead. No, go
No, I
ahead.
was going to say this is a perfect time to say, again, ask the questions of what environment your workers are in, and then
Yes,
we can get you the right face shield. Just saying I need a face shield. That's great. We're glad you're interested, but we need more detail on what kind of environment your workers are in, what kind of work
right.
they're actually doing, and then we can get you the right face shield.
Yes, again, we go back to the same thing, right? One size does not fit all. And sometimes people are of that opinion when you talk about face shields or eyewear, but it's just so not true, guys. Okay, talk a little bit about more face protection and how you can actually adjust this, or excuse me, attach this to your hard hats. So you'll see the model, the FH66 and the FM70 and 71. These are for cap style hard hats. And they lock into the channel. You can kind of see that up at the top where you'll see the little silver piece at the brim and then how it will adjust or attach there. It provides a leak-proof seal, so that means there's no water is dripping down through the top there as well. And then so you have the FH66, which is made of aluminum, and that's for heavy duty type of environments, right? Like we talk about oil and gas, heavy duty, right? So this would be a great product for that environment. The FM70 is molded out of plastic, so it's very lightweight, and it will also provide electrical protection. Now, the FM71 is the same as the FM70, but as you'll see, it's for the full brim hard hat. So you can attach this any way you need to, right? If you need dielectric, it's there. If you need heavy duty for like we talked about for oil and gas, you have the metal option. So any way you need to attach, we can make that happen for you. So these are some of our attachment points. You'll see that we have our quick connects, which is the top one. You'll also see our speedy loop and then our quick lock mounting blades, and you see those at the bottom. So there's really no standard for how these combinations can attach. But if you take a look, the first one, you can order your hard hat with that and you can attach it that way. Our most popular or top seller is our speedy loop. And you can see that you can attach, thank you. You
Yeah,
can
I like the
actually,
next slide. That's better.
yeah, this is better. You can actually attach this. Let me see if I can, you see this little slot here. You'll see that you pull it out and then it hooks right on the bottom of your hard hat. So the great thing about this is you can actually change and, the combination that you're wearing anytime in just, a snap of your fingers, you can make it happen. So if you have to go from a welding helmet to a face shield, or you don't need anything, this is a great way to be able to adjust and do that really quickly and not slow down your production to be able to do that. Like I said, this is a top seller for us. We've seen this in the trades for years and years.
And like you said, it's a top seller because it's so easy to
Yeah,
attach to a hard hat and to detach it when you don't need that extra, face shield or welding helmet. Just a really good product that is fairly universal on hard hats. It doesn't work on a full brim. It only works on the cap style because it needs to
right.
clip onto the side, but it works on most hard hats. So really a great product.
Yeah, that's right. And you'll see that this hard hat is turned around. And most cases now you can actually, adjust the the insert for the hard hat, but we actually have a product where you can actually just swing this. It's a swing strap and it'll go back and forth. So it even makes it more comfortable and easy to adjust and assemble. Okay, next slide, please.
I'm going to take this one.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about face shields and eyewear and safety, but accidents still happen. So I don't want anybody to think, hey, we protected our people, everything's going to work out great. We still need to have eye wash on site just in case an accident does happen. So from our side, our Pure Flow 1000 is probably the top selling station out there for us, and it meets all the ANSI standards for being a primary eye wash station, meaning it needs to be activated in less than 1 second. It needs to provide a flow rate simultaneously to both eyes, and it needs to be at that rate for a full 15 minutes. So our Pure Flow is great at that, and more importantly, it's mobile. Rarely does one work site just have that wall sitting there for eye wash stations to hang. It needs to be out on construction sites in different oil and gas situations. It needs to be mobile. So we added the picture of a universal cart that you can just wheel this anywhere. It just hooks right onto that back hook, and then you can move this to anywhere on the job site. And then because this is a big, heavy a green box that sits on a cart or the wall, we also make available secondary eye wash systems such as our Isolene bottles from 1 ounce all the way up to 32 ounce to be more portable. If you're a construction guy and you're working on the 14th floor, you're not going to drag a Pure Flow all the way up there, but you do have the option of bringing eye wash bottles up there. So accidents happen. Make sure that we have or you have the proper eye wash on the job site. So just
Hey,
want to,
Brian, can I
yeah.
just add on that Pure Flow 1000? One of the things that I've always found is great about it is that the cartridges are good for 24 months. So you don't have to do anything to it, right? You just have to make sure you check it that it hasn't been activated. And in some cases, you have to refill the others. This one is just so awesome. It requires so little attendance. Okay, let's talk a little bit about some Perfect Fit gloves and some Coreshield gloves. These are new products to us. We've made some improvements, or I should say we had a legacy product and we've made some improvements to this Perfect Fit 3.0 and the Coreshield. We're super excited about them. So comfortable and great dexterity. Next slide, please. So let's talk a little bit about the improvements. This is the Perfect Fit. The Perfect Fit glove comes in an A1 through A6, and it is PU coated. You can see that it's color coded, which makes it really easy for a safety manager if he has different processes happening within his facility. Now he can look out over the plant, and if he has someone that should be wearing an A2 and someone wearing an A6, he'll be able to look out and see that the wrist, the person in the A6 only has a yellow wrist on and know that they're not wearing the proper protection and maybe head off an accident before it actually happens. It has great grip. Talked about the PU coating, which is very breathable and comfortable. It's touchscreen capable. So it doesn't matter whether you're at an A1 or an A6, it will perform. I've put it on, guys, and I've worn it while doing my work just to be sure, and it functions no matter whether it's my iPad or my phone or my computer. It does everything I need it to do. It's also silicone free, also skin friendly and very lightweight, and it's fiberglass free, right? So very comfortable. And one of the new features for sure is anti-static. So for those of you needing that and working in that environment, it's awesome. You can wash this product up to 3 times. And people will ask me, what happens if you wash it the 4th time, Tina? Nothing. So I don't know how many times before it actually starts to fall apart, but it's certainly not at 4 because I've washed it as many as 5. It's also food certified, so FDA approved. And again, clean and user-friendly markings on here. So super great glove, excellent dexterity. We talked about the anti-static, which helps prevent the electrostatic charge or discharging. And, nothing's catching on fire. We have that higher gauge. So all of the cut levels are 18 gauge. And when we talk about an 18 gauge, we're talking about a second skin type of thinness. great dexterity, overall comfort is amazing. Talked about the touchscreen capability, so your workers can use a smartphone or tablets, as well as, control any machine panels, anything like that, without actually having to take their glove off. So there's no additional risk, right? We're keeping them protected at all times, even while operating a screen. They're silicone free. So in a lot of environments like automotive or even aerospace, anywhere where they're painting, silicone free is usually required so that the paint will adhere to the product. So that's important in a lot of environments. We talked about color coding, right? So this allows your safety managers, or whether it's a site manager, whoever it may be, to identify if every department is wearing the appropriate gloves. It has a low DMF, so very skin friendly to our customers, and also and food certified. So you're talking 18 gauge, anti-static, touchscreen, PU coated, and food certified, all in one glove. It's all there. And we're always looking to standardize and eliminate, so many different options. Well, this is a great way to do that. So some of the target industries and applications that we're focusing on are manufacturing. So small oily parts, handling any sharp edges, machinery, maintenance, etc. for the lower cut levels, right? And then when we're getting into construction, handling of grippers or machines and working with sharp edges, handling any heavy abrasive types of parts. And then automotive, we talked about, using it in a paint environment or even vehicle assembly, great in those environments. And we discussed that it's FDA approved, so food processing or packaging, and even glass handling is great. And then logistics and warehousing, so handling parcels, packaging, picking, forklift driving. We've talked about these industries, but I will tell you that I think this glove will perform in any industry that you put it in. It will do a great job. So some of the things, targeted industries or applications, we talked about the higher gauge. We talked about the touchscreen capabilities. We talked about it being silicone free and why that's crucial in the automotive or aerospace industry. We talked about color coding and that it's also skin friendly and being food certified. So those are all things and all improvements that we've made to the glove.
So it sounds like to me that you need to ask the questions that we've talked about on other products. What kind of environment are your workers in, and what glove do they need in
That's
terms
right,
of
Brian.
protection, cut protection? Do they need to have that the fingertip where they have the touchscreen capability? So again, talk to your workers. What kind of environment? What do you need? We can get you the right product in those hands.
That's right. It's all about the questions, Brian. You're so right. Okay, let's talk about our Coreshield. Super excited about this. We've made a lot of changes to this as well. This is where we started with our color coding options. Okay, next screen, please. So some of the things that we've added to the Coreshield, we've added, again, the anti-static, and that is only in the black styles. You need the carbon for anti-static, and you can't put that in the white. It's also touchscreen capable, like we talked about. It's also food certified. It meets EN and ANSI standards and has the markings on the back of the glove. It has an extended sleeve or extended cuff. And I will tell you, I really like that extended cuff. It does two things, right? It takes that cut protection and it brings it up even higher up on the wrist. So if you're not wearing a sleeve, it'll give you a little additional protection. But the other thing it does is it actually grips your wrist and it helps support your wrist. So I say less hand fatigue, because most gloves hit right at the break of your wrist, and this comes up a little higher and supports the wrist. You also have the thumb reinforcement or thumb crotch, and you can kind of see that thumb crotch there. That's the spot where your glove typically gives in, right? That's the weak spot. We're constantly stretching our hand, so you'll see it pull through here. And even if you're using a blade, that's where you're most likely to cut yourself. So we've reinforced that area to help eliminate some of those accidents or maybe minimize them as well. It's abrasion resistant and breathable. Now, these are nitrile coated, right? We talked about the Perfect Fit being PU coated. This is nitrile coated, so excellent in an oily environment. You have clear markings on the outside of the glove. You can wash this over 5 times, and it's just super comfortable, great, and skin friendly. Now, there's a glove that we sell in this family also called the Coreshield Double. And off to the right there, you see this moisture repellent smooth nitrile. The Coreshield Double actually is double dipped. So you'll see there are 2 layers of nitrile on the palm. The layer closest to your hand is made so that the oil or liquid will not saturate your palm. And then the layer on top is that microfoam, very breathable. And if you look at it, you can see it's very porous. And so that it keeps the oil from actually sitting on the surface of your hand and keeping that grip steady for you. Next slide, please. Okay, so what are the differences with the legacy Coreshield and the new 3.0? The things that we kept were that single and double coated styles. We have both black and white styles, and then the color coding markings. Black and white, we see, interesting enough, we see a lot of requests for white in tire manufacturing. So just an idea of where you might use that. Also, food handling will use white. They are EN and ANSI certifications. You can wash them 5 times. They have the optimum dry and oil grip performance with that nitrile coating. They're skin friendly. They're silicone free. And then the thumb crotch reinforcement we talked about, and touchscreen capabilities. And I will tell you, on the old ones, we didn't always perform so well in the touchscreen capability in the A9. But the new glove, whether it's A1 or A9, you can use it on any of your products, whether it's a tablet, whether it's your phone, or whether it's a machine. It will perform with no matter what you use. And that's some of the things that we've improved, which were, the touchscreen capability. It has an improved fit. So you'll feel that a lot more comfortable around the hand. I think the other one was a little bit fuller. And again, this is an 18 gauge, so a lot more comfortable and thinner. So you have increased wearing comfort and sensitivity, the lower weight, right? So we went from 15 gauge to 18 gauge liner, so much more comfortable. And also from A1 to A9. And then you have the anti-static protection that we talked about. You have access to all the data on the glove. So inside the glove, there's actually a label that has a QR code, and you can scan that QR code with your phone, and it will give you all of the data, what it's been tested for, what the cut levels are. It'll all be available for you. And we talked about the improved touchscreen capability. We talked about having that thumb crotch reinforcement. In the old option, or the legacy option, that thumb crotch was a little thicker, and now it's thinner and more comfortable to wear. It is made with recycled material. So if some of your customers are looking, or you're looking for a green option, this is a way to help look at that as well. It also has some eco-friendly packaging. So you'll see, instead of being wrapped in plastic, it's now wrapped in brown paper, right? So a lot more eco-friendly packaging, excuse me. And then more user-friendly and safety-driven marking. So you'll see everything on the hand. It will be easy for your safety managers to identify what the glove has to offer. Next screen, please. So some of the verticals that we're targeting are, we've mentioned the automotive or EV, the body painting, the surface inspection, battery and assembly lines. And again, that silicone free is going to help with that body painting. Wind and solar, how about assembly or loading equipment, even installation or maintenance on wind and solar. Manufacturing, handling metal sheets and panels, machine operations or maintenance. Don't forget, we have this cut level all the way to an A9. So when you talk about handling any sharp parts or, anything that's, sheet metal, that kind of thing, you're going to be in an A9 when you're doing that, and you have that cut level. You have machinery and construction, warehousing and logistics, and then food and beverage as well. Okay.
That's the end of our presentation. We know that this is a recorded version for everybody. Please take down the information that you see on the screen for our email information. If there's any questions out there, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Also, I just want to stress one more time, PPE only works when the workers wear it. Hard hat, safety eyewear, gloves, face shields. If they're not wearing it, they're not being protected. They can have the best PPE in the world, but if they don't wear it, it's not protecting them. So we try to make ours comfortable, easy to use, and we want to make sure that the right questions are being asked on what type of protection do you need in every type of work environment. This way we get you the right PPE that fits, that's comfortable, that'll do its job. And that's the only way that the workers will be well protected. And with that, that's the end of our presentation.
Thank you
Perfect.
very much.
Yeah, I'll reiterate a couple of things that Brian said. First things first is he's right. If you're not wearing it, you're not protected. And I mean, look at the guy on the screen. He looks cool. Look at all the PPE he has on. He looks good. He looks protected. You look at the over the glasses that Tina was putting on. I like those. Those look futuristic. I'm a huge fan. And that you can move your head around because let's be honest, any over the glasses protection that you're wearing, it's great in theory, but look at Tina. Just look at her. She looks good. She's staying safe. She's protected. So, like Brian said, just wear your PPE. And the second thing, it's not good enough to say, hey, I need XYZ PPE. We need way more information than that because there is such an extensive line of eyewear, face shields, helmet, everything. So, be a little more specific. Let's get into depth with things. Take down Tina and Brian's information, reach out to the team, and just make sure that you're staying protected. All right, guys. So is there anything else you want our audience to take away from today or keep top of mind so that they can stay safe and protected?
Just remember to ask a lot of questions, dig in deep, find out what the application is, because that's when you're going to provide the best protection if you have all the answers.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you guys being here today. Of course, we want to thank AD Safety Network for allowing you to be here today, as well as PIP Global Safety for letting you be here today. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you keeping us safe. So until next time, take care and do your due diligence. Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Thanks very much.
everyone. Thank you.